Hello and welcome to Compelled Impact, a channel where experts share wisdom, knowledge, experiences, and ways you can renew your mind and transform your life. Today is episode 53, Integrity to be Real. Be who you say you are. Integrity is defined as the quality of being honest, having strong moral principles, in the state of being whole. Hold on a second. And undivided. It's critical to find this resolution within yourself because often what is the social norm of a group or culture isn't exactly correct all of the time. I'm not saying to only make up your own rules for what's right for you, although that's a big part of it. I am saying to check the integrity of the person or group you're using as a standard measure. Don't get swept away by someone else's agenda. It's not always bad, but also not always what is going to lift you up to your next step in life. This is a huge part of what you are here for, to learn how to navigate in such a way that you feed your soul and overflow all of the nourishment of goodness into everyone around you. You are the leader of this benevolent movement. Can you imagine a world where each person lived with this in mind and genuinely allowed others to do the same? I believe that's what heaven must be like. And I also believe that as an individual, we can live that kind of heaven on earth to some degree. I've been called a dreamer, not for nothing. Being real is being genuine, authentic, with undeniable evidence of congruence within oneself. In other words, alignment in spirit, heart, mind, and body. This is the premise of my work and what I guide others to find in their lives. It's been a long, challenging road to find my way back to this innocence that I had as a child and young person. Now I see it more clearly, as well as how and where it all went wrong. There's a lot to be gained by learning to really know yourself, all your light and dark places, all your foibles, and all that had influenced you in those first 7 years of life, good and bad. Sometimes we find that those who were supposed to protect us weren't aware of that objective, which may have been a long-standing generational pattern. Therefore, once again, I will iterate that even parents only know what they know, which usually came from another place of malfunction. Blame is not the intention here, only to see the truth for what it is and give grace and compassion to others in a broken system. This is all part of your personal responsibility to seek healing and expansion as part of your life purpose. Yes, of course, there was a time I didn't know any of this. I didn't understand it. I was pretty confused about how this works, and no one really had answers. I didn't have a clue what the consequences would be of not being in alignment in heart and mind with my infinite spirit. Even if I was the only one who knew, I was also not aware of the results of being in alignment and how it would lend credibility, integrity, and the joy of freedom to my entire life. You only know what you know right now, and much of the time you don't know what you don't know until you hear it or learn it for the first time. Even after hearing something once, it's necessary to hear it 5 to 7 times in order to learn it, and usually more, so that you can assimilate it into your life. This is why it takes a while to make changes, and sometimes longer for some of us who process and implement new knowledge more slowly. It's okay. You're on your timeline, not someone else's. The most important thing is to replay the changes in your mind that you want to the point that it embodies your intentions, making it easier to rise above what has been mundane so far. And then you'll never be bored. I used to tell my kids when they would say, "I'm bored," I'd tell them, only boring people get bored. Nobody wants to be boring. So Keep learning, keep growing, keep changing. When you begin to understand this and take personal responsibility to manifest higher level thinking for your life, you notice shifts in your emotions and thoughts before you see change exhibited. You will probably become uncomfortable with making these changes. And that's okay too, because it's something new and you're moving out of your static space and into something more a movement. However, as I've mentioned in other videos, you are changing every day, whether you like it or not. It may as well be something you aspire to that will amplify your life and edify others. It is well known that this is because changes begin in your mind before anywhere else. When you want something to change, it's important to not only think about it, but see what the changes look like when they take place. More importantly, it's more meaningful to feel what it will be like when you are in that different state of being. The mind doesn't know what's real or what's not real. It's objective. It also does not know what you think about yourself as opposed to what you think about someone else. There's no delineation between subjects. This is why unsavory thoughts and words towards someone else can make you feel heavy and disgusted. The person or people that you're thinking about are not making you feel that way. You are. I'll talk about the power of your thoughts and words in another video, but wanted to share that part here as well. Genuine honesty is so critical for a joyful life that most people can sense something is off within a person, even if what they're saying in the moment is true. Congruent integrity is one of the pure virtues of life that will make or break someone's trust in you or your trust in yourself. No one else usually knows any details of what's going on inside you and between your heart, mind, and spirit. What they do know that is that if your thoughts, words, and actions are not in alignment, something just doesn't seem right. If you are not demonstrating your words and actions being identical to your beliefs in the deepest part of who you are, you create cracks in your integrity. I believe this is what is meant by your aura or your vibration. When you're in alignment, living in integrity and at the highest level possible, you have a certain light, a certain presence, a confident and approachable demeanor. When you aren't in the same alignment, well, things could go wrong. For example, there are many people who keep their social groups separate because they act differently with each group. They speak differently and allow each group in at varied distances. It's understandable to some degree. However, if it's strategic for the wrong reasons, it could create conflict in your life. It's living a kind of a lie that you need to stay on top of so it doesn't get out of control. That is such an unnecessary waste of time and energy. Eventually, that crack could grow unmanageable and confusing, especially when the social groups cross over in some way. Everyone knows someone who knows someone else who knows about you. You've heard of the 6 degrees of separation, right? 6 degrees of separation is the theory that any person on the planet can be connected to any other person on the planet through a chain of acquaintances that has no more than 5 intermediaries. Yikes. Do you really want to take that chance just to cover your butt on one aspect of who you are? Would you sacrifice your virtue of integrity and your spirit-soul alignment only to play this dangerous game with your identity? The worst is when someone plays the game of having a secret life to get what they want or for a sense of adventure. This is the unsavory series of actions that demonstrate a double-minded intention that becomes harmful to everyone involved. It's not worth the effort, time, and energy. You can use all 3 of those things for a higher purpose with a higher vibration when you take personal responsibility to make sure what you believe, think, say, and do are in alignment with each other. Here are some ways to keep a check on your integrity. First, always check your motivation. Why are you doing or saying something? Is it necessary? Is it honest? Does it help and edify everyone? Does it feel like you're giving a gift, or are you subtracting anything from someone else? And really, when you're silent most of the time, especially when things get kind of heated around you, you do appear a little more intelligent, right? I don't know, it's just a thought that I hear every once in a while. But when, because when people start spouting off, they go down a dark path and you don't want to follow them. Okay, number 2, is what you're doing or saying something that gives you joy to share? Is it something that you would like to receive yourself? Number 3, when you walk out of that situation, would it be an embarrassment, or would it feel okay for others to know what you just said or did? Number 4, keep choosing to live in such a way and believe in your heart that all things will work together for your good. Be single-minded in your ambitions to achieve your goals and your divine purpose with integrity, grace, love, and compassion for everyone. I know it sounds kind of hard because people, humans, they are who they are, and we are who we are. However, it's very possible. Just start with one tiny step at a time. Don't doubt. That is being double-minded, which will get you nowhere. A double-minded person is unstable in everything. You've heard the quote, what you do in one thing, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. Well, that's what that is. Whatever you do it with a clear, single-minded purpose. Continue to check in with your core feelings, beliefs, and thoughts. If you feel out of alignment, just keep repeating the points I've mentioned to create better habits. Eventually, you will begin to enjoy an uncontaminated flow of love, grace, compassion, and joy in all areas of your life, health, wealth, and relationships. And of course, remember that forgiveness is always part of making changes. There's always someone we need to forgive, maybe not in person, but in our mind and in our heart. We need to release ourselves and other people from the things we did, especially when we didn't know. So that's it for today. Thank you for listening to my channel, for subscribing, sharing, and interacting. At some point in the next couple of months, I will have some announcements about some things I'll be doing, and probably, I'm not sure what month yet, but a small retreat for probably 15 people, less than 20. But retreats are fun. We get to interact and get to learn about ourselves and about each other through the relationships that we build. Keep seeking and learning. Stay open to possibilities of grace, compassion, and love. And as always, live excellently, give generously, and love lavishly. Ciao for now. Mwah.